Good
This
afternoon.
is the Historic District Commission, Town of Fairfield. Today is March 13th, 2025. The notice of this hearing was published February 28th edition of the Fairfield Citizen. I'm taking attendance. Art Granis,
Here.
George Clark,
Here.
Jim Akmondo,
Here.
Jim Bohan, you're muted, but we know you're here.
Okay, thanks.
Maura Garrick,
I'm here.
thank you. Darren Raymond Locke, I believe she was attending, but she's not here yet. Greg Valente, not here yet. And I'm Rostina Negron. So absent today are Darren Raymond Locke and Greg Valente. Until Darren shows up, or if she doesn't show up, I'll have Maura Garrett be the alternate for today. The first item on the agenda is Kim and Kate Rogers for 221 Harbor Road, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 221 Harbor Road. For A, remove existing non-compliant cobble half parking strip along Harbor Road. B, widen the existing driveway entrance to 20 feet to allow for 2 cars. C, build new driveway entrance with asphalt from street into property and antique cobble band that leads to the garage in the rear. Is there anyone here to present? Hearing none, let's move on to the next one. John and Rachel Blaschke,
Yes.
323 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 323 Old Post Road to demo the existing garage and construct a new detached 2-car, 2-story garage with a home and full bathroom that one day will be used as an accessory dwelling. Is there anyone here to present?
Yes, John Velasky.
Before we start, Darren Raymond Locke is present. We have all the commissioners. Go ahead and state your name, please.
Hi, my name is John Velasky from 323 Old Post Road. And I'm looking to tear down our existing garage that's basically going to blow over anytime soon and replace it with a usable structure.
Can you share your presentation?
I can share. I have pictures, and I was told they were emailed, but I'll try to share.
Okay.
Let me see if I could drag them in there. Sorry, I think I got kicked out when I tried dragging something in. Let me just.
Would you like for me to share?
Yes, do you have it?
Yes, hold on.
I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with the WebEx thing.
I think one is an employee, I'm not sure. The guest
Yeah,
ones.
the guest one just started working, so I've got the agenda with me now.
Is the hearing Blaschke? I thought that was the first one on the agenda.
Yeah, Jim and Kate Rogers.
That's the one we're on.
No, I don't think so.
Which one's the same?
Okay, I'm sharing your application
Thank you.
and I'll move to the location map.
Sure. So the garage right there is on South Benson Road. Our address is Old Post Road, but it's our driveway's behind our house on South Benson, and that's the garage right there. That's we can't park in or really use it to store anything because it's not really weatherproof anymore. And you could fit maybe one car in there. This is the proposed drawing from the architect that we're using. We're gonna make it look very similar to the house. I want to match it to blend in with, you know, the community. Not looking to do anything crazy in that regard. It's just gonna be a little bigger office space and future living space on the top as our family expands. We don't want to go anywhere, so we were trying to get a little more space on the property.
Can you discuss maybe the materials?
Yeah, I wanted to use, you know, the cedar, the same stuff that we use on the house, or and closest we can to it. I know it's an older house, but closest we can match it to the house is what we're trying to do. That's the existing garage or shed or whatever you want to call it.
Do you have anything else to say?
No, that's pretty much it. Just trying to upgrade the property and the garage and make it look like it's blending into the community, the historic community.
Are there any questions? I'll start with Darren Raymond Luck,
No questions for me, thanks.
Art Grovanis,
No questions.
George Clark,
Is he on the phone?
George is on the phone, so we'll skip him. Jim Akamondo,
No questions at this time, thanks.
Jim Bohan,
No questions, thank you.
Maura Garrick,
Yeah, I just had a couple really quick questions. One was, I presume the accessory apartment's been approved?
Correct.
Okay, and the other question I have is, any comments from your neighbors? You know, since, and I can see very well that the old garage is not functioning anymore, but any comments from your neighbors about what you're putting up?
No, we're pretty close with most of them, and two of our neighbors have put up garages right next to our property very recently, and they were kind of surprised because I brought it up when we moved in, and they ended up doing it before we did it. So they're very supportive of it, and I think it'll, you know, make the area look a little nicer than having that garage there.
Okay, and last, just curiosity question, you gonna keep that fence? That kind of,
So we have to replace it soon because it's actually rotting on the bottom. But I was just going to wait until we did the garage because I don't know if I have to move the fence a little bit. So I kind of wanted to do it all in one shot. I mean, I wish the fence was white, kind of. My wife doesn't agree. So it's that's the color it's staying, but I definitely we need to replace it.
Yeah. No, just curious. And I fully understand it'd be actually smart to keep it up while you're under construction.
Yeah,
Okay. I have no further questions.
thank you.
I have no questions also, so we did not receive any letters in favor or against this application, so this hearing for this application is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time.
The next one is 910 Harbor Investors LLC, 920 Harbor Road, Southport, for a property located at 920 Harbor Road, Southport, Connecticut. A, to change existing 2-leaf French screen door and existing 2-foot clear glass and screen panels on the south, non-street facing elevation, to 2-leaf French doors with glass and muntins, and 2 double hung windows with clear glass and muntins, 1 on either side of the French door, to match existing windows on all elevations of the home, including those visible from the street. Is there anyone here representing this application?
Hi, yes, good afternoon. It's Tim Ryan Jr. from Mayfair Construction. We're the contractor for our client at 920 Harbor Road. I can share my screen if to show the plans and pictures, if that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
So this is our application for the certificate of appropriateness to make a change to the screen door. This and here is the survey showing the plot plan. So here on the east side is where the Harbor Road street is, and this red arrow indicates where the scope of work was to occur on the house. No change to the existing footprint on this house, purely changing out the doors. I think it's best to show for me to show some pictures, because this all stemmed from fire damage that occurred at the house several years ago, 2 years ago in the summer. There was a fire up on this porch above the screen, the screen on the first floor. And in submitting the repair form to repair the home with a rush to get everything closed up from the damage from the fire, but then also putting out the fire, I overlooked the steps required to change out these doors, where all the water from repairing the fire kind of soaked up the doors, and it was our opinion that they needed to be changed for long-term viability. And since I actually was not involved in this project when we built this home in 2015, 2016, I kind of rushed in trying to get this done and missed the step that we needed to submit a certificate of appropriateness to change these screen doors, as you see here, to match the windows, which is how on the flanking side, which is how we ended up going. So I will share a different window to show you how they look. So this is how, after repairing, we had adjusted these, and it was only, unfortunately, after we finished that, in trying to close things out with the building department, that they flagged that we had not flagged this aesthetic change to the screen doors and windows on the first floor, from the more open glazed version here to the Muntin version that matched the windows, which matched the elevations around the whole side of the house. So they informed us we needed to submit this filing to you to restart the process in the correct order, which was unfortunately my youthful mistake to try and push through. So this is the work that was done outside of repairing the shingles in the roof above. All materials are the same, cedar shingles that will be painted to match the siding on the house, the wood double hung windows and screen doors with the same white painted muntins like the rest of the home. So this is this is essentially it. So I have nothing further to add. So I'm not sure if there's any questions from the board.
Thank you very much. Darren, do you have any questions?
Just a quick question. So in that little gable balcony, the windows up there didn't change. We're specifically just looking on that first floor. Nothing changed up
Correct.
there. Okay,
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
that's all my question.
Art, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
George, do you have any questions?
No, thank you. Nice job. I'm much improved.
Thank you.
Jim A, do you have any questions?
No, I think it looks great. Thank you.
Jim Bohan?
Again, compliments, but no questions. Thank you very much.
Maura?
Yeah, compliments. And I can say I walk by that house and you can't even see past those green giants to even see it. But it looks great.
Thank you. That was part of my mistake. I assumed that since it was invisible to the street, it wasn't required. So thank you.
I don't have any questions. We did not receive any letters in favor of this application, nor we received any letters opposing this application. So this hearing is now closed, and just wanted to mention that Greg Valente is now present in the meeting. The next item in the agenda is St. Paul's Episcopal Church, 661 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 661 Old Post Road, for A, removal of existing St. Paul Nursery School of Fairfield, Inc., sign at the northwest corner of the lot, at corner of Education Office Building, existing sign to be reinstalled alongside existing to nursery school in driveway. B, installation of new single-sided post-mounted sign, similar in design and construction to the new church sign installed in January 2024. And C, illumination of new sign using in-ground fixture, similar to the new church sign installed in January 2024. Is there anyone here representing this application?
Yes, John Highland from St. Paul's Church.
Thank you. You can go ahead and share your application.
Okay,
Present.
so can you see the application?
Not yet.
On my screen. And so sorry, can you see?
No.
Sure.
Are you clicking at the bottom of the screen where it says share?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you like for me to share the application?
Yeah, that may be the right thing to do. I don't want to hold you folks up.
So this is the application, and
Trying to get back to where I can see what you've got up.
I'm showing the second page of your application at the moment.
All right, I just can't, I can't see what you're sharing.
Okay, let me
You know, I
stop
may-
sharing for a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna try sharing again, if you don't mind.
Okay,
No. This isn't right. Okay.
Now
That's working.
you're sharing.
Now I'm sharing?
Yes, you're sharing your email
Yeah.
at this moment.
Oh,
That I
he's
didn't
getting
want
there.
to do. Come on. Ah. Can you see that?
Just the email at this moment.
Oh.
So when you share, you might want to select which of the items on
Did.
your computer you're sharing.
It's used to easier. I've opened the file.
So that's what I was gonna say, is the application inside that file?
No.
No, that's just
The
the
agenda.
agenda.
Okay,
It was open on a window.
then, yeah. Okay. Maybe close the email.
I only need to change which window is streaming.
Yeah. And closing them could help. So,
I'm gonna see if I can close all my windows.
You might want to stop sharing first, and then when you try to share again, select the window that.
Okay. Get to down. I think I've lost the primary WebEx application.
Rosita, what if you work just us trying to present?
He can see it, so. Will you like us to come back to you? Or-
I guess I'm gonna sign off and,
Or will you like for me to share?
yeah, but I can't see your screen either. Right now. I don't even see the WebEx controls at the moment.
should log back in. Shut down.
Yeah. maybe you should log out and
Yeah, we'll just go on to it next.
So
go to the next.
try to log out and come back in, and
Okay.
we'll the next application and come back to you. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
That's okay. Problem. The next item in the agenda is Town of Fairfield, Pequot Avenue, Station Street, and Chester Place intersection in Southport, Connecticut for a property located at Pequot Avenue, Station Street, and Chester Place intersection for A, replace the existing ADA ramps with new ADA compliant ramps and curb extensions. B, provide a channelized island at the intersection of Station Street and Pequot Avenue to channelize the right turning vehicles and eliminate the conflict with pedestrians and straight through traffic, and split approximately 42 feet wide roadway into 2 lanes, right turning and straight through lane. Is there anyone here to present this application?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, hi, my name is Megha. I'm a senior civil engineer with Town of Fairfield, and I'm here to present this plan. Would you like to see the plan? I can share it.
Yes, please.
Okay. Share. I'm sorry, I have to see my window.
Elizabeth, can you come here?
I think I have to open in the Chrome because it doesn't do the,
See this?
doesn't let me open the PDF. So let me open my application in the Chrome. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so this is should be sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is an application that I present. This is existing condition. This is a plan here. So I think everybody can see now properly. Okay. So this is so we received some concerns from the residents and the Sasquatch Association that this intersection, specifically Station Street, Chester Street, Piquot Avenue, intersecting Station and Chester Street, they have a problem here with pedestrians, especially with the residents who are going to the Station Street to access the railroad station, and also to the school kids, specifically for the residents, the working moms and moms who are dropping the kids. They were having a hard time crossing Piquot Avenue to Station Street, and Station Street to this towards the Chester Place. So I think what happened was, since 10 years, I think residents has been requesting to improve this intersection. They went to local traffic authority some years back. I don't remember the time frame, and it was not approved by local traffic authority because there were some sightline issues that were cited towards the westbound traffic that was coming towards the Piquot Avenue, because there was some sightline issue here that was cited. So that's why the request was not accepted to put a crosswalk here. So now again, we received that request to look into this, investigate this, and engineering department went out twice to see what we can do to improve this intersection. So first was a sightline issue. So there was not a major sightline issue, but could be specifically for the traffic that is coming towards this side where my cursor is going. So what happening is, these are existing ramps where my cursor is. And one is at the western side, and this is the eastern side. They have existing ADA ramps, but they are not really an ADA ramp. There is an ADA ramp, but it is not a very good ADA. It's not even good ADA ramp to cross. It doesn't encourage at all. So that was one issue that we saw. There's an existing, they're not good ADA ramps. So that was one issue. Then what we next noticed was, when the pedestrians are crossing from this section here towards this section, there could have been a sightline issue. So could be, I mean, that was not, you can still cross, but we don't want it to risk anybody. So that was second thing that we cited. And then when we were in the field, the third thing that we noticed is that this is a 42 feet wide roadway here. And this is almost 38 feet wide. And this is a striping, this is a white striping here. So we notice these roadways are so wide. So traffic is all over the place. There is no segregation of the traffic, the straight through, the right through. There's a conflict. The pedestrians are not at all encouraged. They were feeling scared to cross this roadway because the traffic is all over the place. It was not properly channelized. So the conflicts were present between everybody, the drivers and the pedestrians, and the perception. So these were the issues that we saw there when we were standing. So in order to improve this, the first thing was how we can improve the sightline, because the initially LTA had a problem with the sightline. So the first thing that we saw was, let's extend this curve, let's extend this, because this is a 38 feet wide roadway. We can easily accommodate 12 feet here and 12 feet right roadway here. So it's plenty of room here to put a curb extension. So we will be putting a curb extension, and we'll be making a perpendicular ADA ramps. We will be putting a curb extension over here to improve the sightline, and putting a ADA ramps here, putting a crosswalk here. So now the sightline improved because the pedestrian is not over here standing to see, but pedestrian will be standing, almost like 4 to 5 feet extension of a curb here, where this driver can see the pedestrians here and pedestrians can see the driver. So that improves the sight line. And second was, one part is this, and second was to not avoid any conflicts with the drivers and the pedestrians, and to make the flow traffic pattern more channelized and more disciplined in this area. So another part was, we have a 42 feet wide, so let's put like a channelized island here and segregate this roadway strictly right through and straight through traffic. So we will be shifting a center line 3 feet away from the existing one. So this is how we are improving this roadway with channelized, so that the traffic is channelized, the crosswalks, the curb extensions to improve the sight line, and also to take advantage of such a wide roadway and to fit these pieces so that we avoid conflicts with pedestrians and drivers. We improve ADA ramps, make it more compliant, safety compliant, PROVAC compliant ADA ramp here, and make it pedestrian friendly environment than it is right now. So this is why we are doing these improvements at this intersection. And we will be taking a little bit of parking spaces. There are like 2 parking spaces that will have to be relocated or removed in order to accommodate this island and make it like 2 lanes at this intersection. Another point is we are proposing a brick pattern. This is what the brick pattern looks like. Right now we have put it at the Stratfield 4 corners. The brick pattern that will look nice, maybe more enhanced way of putting a crosswalk and the island. So that's what we are proposing at this intersection. Any questions?
Mega, it's Jack from Saskatoon. Can you hear me?
Hold on one second.
Yes.
We need to.
You go ahead.
Thank you.
Of course.
Darren, do you have any questions?
No, I don't think I do.
Art Gravanis, do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
George Clark, do you have any questions?
Yes, excuse me. Can you show me where the parking spaces will be eliminated?
On this side, adjacent to 428 Picayune Avenue, you can zoom in. This adjacent to this, this yellow notes are popping up. This one.
So the parking spaces against the front of 428?
Yes.
Okay, and is there any input from the neighbors on that?
I haven't received any input from anybody yet.
Okay, because I know that that's the Proctor residence, and I know that Judy parks her car there all the time. So
George,
she's okay with it. Oh, sorry, she's okay with it. She wrote a letter to the.
we have a letter to read in.
I read her letter. I understand. I understand. I just want to make sure that she's clear. If cars are driving east on Pequot and they come to Station, and they come to Station Street, can they turn left into Station?
No.
So are we making Station Street a one-way road?
Yeah, it's a good question. We actually, this curb, we can put a mountable curb here with a channelized island. We can put a mountable curb which will help to put the left turn. We can make it like a existing flush it with the pavement so that we can make it a left turn for the Picayune Avenue to Station Street.
So just so we're clear, you're saying if I'm driving east on Pequot and I come, I can take a left-hand turn onto Station Street.
Yeah, you can. With the mountable curbing, like we did it for Roundabout on Dunham, like the truck's aprons can do it. So I can do a mountable curb, channelized island.
Okay.
So that is an option.
Seems like we're over-engineering this area, but okay. So we're losing the parking in front of the Proctors. That's fine. That's their call. And we are able to make a left-hand turn. And I agree with you. It's a much better use of the space, the channeling the traffic, as opposed to have it in a field. I'm just a little bit concerned about dicing it up so much, taking a left-hand turn on the station.
We'll make it like a mountable curbing, like a flushing, where it will serve the dual purpose, where they can take right, as well as it is more for pedestrians and left turn as well on that one. It
Well,
will
you
be
don't have
flush.
a pedestrian, with the island, it doesn't have a pedestrian issue. The issue with the island is, can I drive over it if I take a left
Yes.
on Station Street?
Yes, you will be. We'll flush it with the pavement.
Okay, all right. No more questions.
Jim A.
Yeah, so thank you for bringing that up. That was my only concern, was the need for that proposed channelized island. The rest of it looks fantastic, and thank you for that. But I'm imagining, if I followed everything you were talking about, because the road is so wide going westbound and there are no lanes, this provides a lane if you were taking a right onto Station Street and kind of bifurcates the road there a little bit. It just gives you that little visual from a traffic standpoint. But is that the only reason to have this little channelized island? Because otherwise it's, I know you're now going to make it flush. It just seems a little bit, it just seems a little bit overkill, unless you're trying to create 2 lanes within one for traffic going to the right. That's all it seems like the purpose of this. But other than that, it seems more confusing than beneficial.
Yeah, well, our experiences with this kind of project has always been that when these roadways are wide and the island definitely enforces the driver to go into, to keep it in the lane, to be aware of the pedestrians and make and you know, to stay in the lane and to make aware of the pedestrians. And this is the whole reason. If there is no island over here, I'm pretty sure, like, even if you delineate, we can delineate the lanes, but it will still be a conflicting with the pedestrians, because there is an existing ADA ramp over here. I saw in the field. And second thing was, should we, you know, make here as well the crossing, because somebody who is walking on this side is not even able to access this side. It's only for this side. But people who are walking around, this is a slate walk here. There's an existing ADA ramp right now. There's a depression there. I saw in the field. The other option is also, we were thinking, is to make this accessible from here to here. This is a second option that we were keeping in mind with the flushed island or with the mountable island. It won't have like a 6 inch or 4 inches of curbing where nobody can drive over, because we have to keep trucks in mind too, a little, you know, those delivery vehicles. So that's where this whole thing is. It's mostly pedestrian oriented than for drivers, because when people are driving on this road scene, this is such a wide roadway, they just don't, there's a conflict that is created. And with the delineation of lane, yes, we can delineate the lane, that's a good option, and just remove this curb island, but the island will enforce that awareness and to keep the drivers in lane. And
So
this is where
can you
this
go back up to picture 5 again? Is that what the island will look like? It'll look like similar to what the crosswalk is there?
Yeah, this is
So
like yes, yep.
So the island will be recessed like that, and it'll just look something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like a brick pattern, it's flush with this, and then you can drive over. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jim Bohan, do you have any questions?
Yes, yes. Number one, congratulations. Thank you for getting rid of those two parking places. I've been one of the people talking about the sight lines from the east. Coming out of, I live on Station Street, and coming out of Station Street onto Pequot Avenue, making a left-hand turn is treacherous, absolutely treacherous. So my compliments on getting rid of those two parking places. I think that will improve the sight lines of
Yeah.
the east. And I'm very grateful for that. Second point, I'm concerned about making a left-hand turn. If I'm coming from Westport and I'm
Okay.
driving east,
Okay.
and I hit the intersection of Station Street and Pequot Avenue, I want to make a left-hand turn to go up Station Street. You say it's a channelized island, but how can it be a channelized island if it's only two dimensions? If you're going to be able to drive over it.
If 2 dimensions, meaning this is only for right.
It's you're basically going to be flush with the pavement.
Yes, similar to this picture. You see how this brick pattern is?
Right.
And yes, we're not putting any curbs there. It will be flushed with the pavement.
Okay. Okay, but when I first looked at it, I said, "Oh, it sounds like there's an addition to make Station Street a one-way street," and I would not
No.
be in favor
Right,
at all.
no,
That
not either.
would be not. So thank you very much.
This is like sometimes we paint the island. You know, you can paint the islands. I have seen places where they paint the island with the white stripings and put, you know, like yellow or white, and they hatch it out. Instead of doing that, we are just putting a brick pattern island like this, similar to this crosswalk where it's this pattern. So it's just making a little bit more aware for the pedestrians and the traffic. So yeah, you will be able to take left on this one.
You're dealing with two scenic roads here. Both Chester Place and Station Street are both scenic roads, state of Connecticut scenic roads. And motorcycles love this spot. They love coming from Westport on motorcycles.
Yeah.
So put that in your mind. You know, if you haven't already, add considerations of very high-speed motorcycles encountering this intersection, because they have been there for a long time and they will continue to be. But thank you very much, and once again, congratulations on getting rid of those two parking places.
Thank you.
Maura, do you have any questions?
No other questions.
I do.
No other questions.
I do. And I'm not an engineer on this, but the question I have, because I walk this like every single day, is the traffic that's coming west to east. What I see is it's the people come flying around the corner from west to east that create more issue than even the east to west. And for me, what felt logical, because I saw your proposal and then I'm just standing there, and I think you addressed this, but I'm not really sure I understand why not just putting a crosswalk on the eastern side instead of trying to put it on that western side, because you're still going to have people come flying around that corner and they're right on top of that crosswalk at that point. And the channel covers the other way, but you know, and I take Jim's point about the blindness because of parking, but there's a straight line that people can see coming east to west of what's going on, and maybe you channel it, but it's the coming from west to east. I've seen people literally have to jam the brakes on when you're trying to run across the street there.
So your concern is why we are not putting a crosswalk, sorry, on this
Instead of putting
section?
it where you are, putting it on across the other side of Station Street, put it
Like
a
here?
little bit, yeah. And then I don't,
Okay,
go ahead.
on this section, right? This one, where my cursor
No,
is, like,
no, not on
oh,
Station Street, crossing Pequot Avenue, but on the
yeah,
other side of Station
like,
Street, about a little bit past where you're putting your channel, just doing it there because people come down Pequot Avenue and they want to get across there because they want to go down towards the water.
mhm.
And they want to go down that way, and it's putting it on the other side. You're closer to that corner, and even if you've got that curb, the cars are coming from the other side of the street and they get some good speed going there. And I think you'd be better with a line of sight putting it on the other side.
Okay, you mean here, right? On this
Yep.
section?
Yep.
Yeah, we looked into it. There's a driveway problem here. I think we looked into it. There's an existing ramps here. There was a driveway problem. And then I don't know where,
There's
from,
plenty of room. I mean, look at the size of your crosswalk versus the distance you have. You have some distance there. Or you could put it on the other side of that driveway.
it's like a
There's
lot
a
of
plenty of
you can, the screen. Can you see my screen on the Google image here or no?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so see here, we have existing ADA ramps here. We don't have any, like here, I'm not sure. We did look into it, but it's like,
Wait, which side you're on the Station Street side? I'm talking about the.
I think she's on a different window.
We cannot see your Google map.
oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I was in the, so I have to share 1 minute. If I can share, stop sharing and share, let me share again.
It's the west side of Chester Place.
Correct.
She's talking about.
Oh, my Google.
Front
My
of the
Google.
Congregational Church, there is a crosswalk.
Yes.
Hold on, I think my Google is not showing up. No, it did here. Okay, let's go on the Google.
Down here, go here.
So you're saying somewhere over here, right? So, this is a driveway,
Yeah.
which will conflict with the
Well, you could
driveway.
go past the driveway. And then that way you've got the straight line, you've got more distance coming around from the Congregational Church. You've got people who come, that's a pretty straight shot coming down Pequot past the stores and stuff, and then people can see it. Then it's more functional, not only for Station Street, but for the whole street.
This will be acted as a mid-block crosswalk than the corner one.
Yeah, but the kids can come down Station Street. They just go around the corner and they come across. It's like an extra 10 feet.
I will have to look into it, but the proposal was somebody requested here first, and then we looked into this area. I will have to look into it. This is a new proposal that you're putting here, so I will have to
Yeah,
look.
and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but I walk this every day, and I just feel strongly that
we will have to
I
look
think
into the ADA ramps. We have to look on the existing sidewalks, the tree stuff
right,
here.
but I don't think you want to put a crosswalk in there and have people coming flying around, and you're getting those kids are going to be exposed to those people coming around that blind corner.
Corner problem is not, it's the speeding is going to be still here. Even if the speeding vehicle is coming, you can stop. We did some traffic. So this is from the engineering side. I mean, I don't know, but this is what I'm presenting today.
Okay.
And you can look into the other side. It will be a separate thing that has to go again towards the whole procedure, towards the new FTA group and everything. So the main request was around this area, so we looked into this around area, and we think that is the best we can do from traffic viewpoint, and it was approved by local traffic authority 3 months ago. So I'm just presenting what we have today. I'm not going to look into separate proposals in this meeting.
Okay.
That has to be requested separately.
Okay, but it's just hard for us because you're asking us from the historic district, and it's hard for me to just approve brick color if I don't think the underlying proposal makes sense. So I hear what you're saying loud and clear.
Thank you. Greg, do you have any questions?
No, I would say I'll just add a comment. I've walked down there quite a bit. It's, for me, this is the same as dealing with speed bumps. The turn, speed bumps are not allowed on roadways that have too many turns. It has to be a certain number of distance. By the time you come down past the church, make the left, you're not even looking on Pequot Road anymore. You're actually looking, as you get past the parking lot, your line of sight is looking not towards Pequot and heading up towards the town center. So that's the same analogy I use for a speed bump. In a speed bump situation where I have a road in Fairfield, you're not allowed to put them in when there's too many turns. And the reason for that is that by the time you get to that speed bump, you could actually damage your car, or it actually could cause an accident. I think the safety issue here is worth looking into further. And I agree that the proposal, if it is looked at, should be on the other side, where there's plenty of time for the driver to look up, get to a place where they could say, wait a minute, there's someone crossing there. The other thing is that right on that corner, it actually gets wider for some reason. I know you mentioned it, the width. In order to cross the street there, it's actually a long time. It takes about, for an older person, it could take 20, 30 strides to get across there. Not kidding. For someone who's younger, yeah, it could take somewhere around 10 strides. You're not crossing the street in about enough time by the time that car comes down there. And there's not enough traffic control. By the time you fill up that crosswalk, you're going to have a ton of traffic going all the way back on Pequot Road, especially on a Saturday or Sunday. So that's my comments on it. I feel like it should be looked at from a safety concern.
I think we, as a traffic engineers, we have looked at it, and this is why LT approved it. It is improved by the engineering department. So we have looked at it. We are utilizing your existing ADA ramp where it is already there, and we looked from every perspective. So this is where my thing is.
You're done?
Yeah.
I don't have any questions at the moment. I had some of the comments and questions that others presented. Is there anyone from the public that has any questions?
Hey guys, Jack.
Yes, hi. Yeah.
My recollection, well, you've showed us two different options. The second one being the one that's already been approved by whatever that entity is. The previous one, and if you want to put that up, please, that would be very helpful.
This one?
The first one that you showed.
No,
Your
this
sharing
is a
screen.
but this is, oh, stop.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
It's white
Oh,
right
sorry,
now.
just hold on. Let me share it again. Okay, let's see if you can see it.
Yes.
This one, Jack?
Yes. Well, yeah, I think that crosswalk was a little further east. In fact, yeah, no, not that one. Not that one. Sorry.
This one?
The one that had the crosswalk on the east side of Station Street.
It's in the documents. I didn't see it.
I have only this and I have only this image and this image. I
It's
don't
not
know
in the-
which one.
Okay, so, all right, we'll just verbalize it. So the last time we were together, the plan was it was going to be on the east side of Station Street, number one. Number two, the two parking places that were going to be removed were on the east side of Station Street in front of those houses there. So right in there, there were two big, for line of sight, for making that crossing. That was the original plan. Are you saying that that plan did not get approved?
No, the plan was here to put, I don't know, we never planned it over here on the east side. That was the whole.
I'm not talking about there. That's the west side. I'm talking about the other side of the road towards the village.
The upper right part of that picture.
Not there. You make a
Yeah,
left.
somewhere over here. No, we never looked at that side. It was always this side, so I'm not sure what.
Yeah, that's not my recollection at all. I have a distinct
Okay,
100%
so if you
recollection.
don't want it here, I mean, we have to fill this form again, and we can go over that again. I'm not going to, spend time. If this is the best we came with here and a channelized island, and this is why we are extending these curb extensions here to make it improvement. And in fact, if I don't know if where there were like parking issues here, and there's a lot of parking over here too. So if somebody wants to have a crosswalks here, we have to take out the parking spaces and also see what is involved in putting the crosswalks here. So that's the only thing I can discuss here in this meeting. I mean, it's I don't want to.
I would just say I 100% agree with Greg's comments. It solves some of the danger, but I think it's much better in that original plan that we discussed. And I remember it like it was yesterday, Mega. We looked at that.
I think there is some misinformation going on. We already discussed this. We shared the plans with.
Yeah, hang on, Mega. You just definitively suggested that if the walk was going to be on that side of the road, there were two cars on the left side as you go.
So at this moment, I think the Historic District Commission might want not to vote at all in this application. And as it was suggested initially to all the applicants, we would like to have a pre-application meeting. It might be more helpful for all people that need to participate in this to kind of go back and do a pre-application meeting, see all the options that can be put on the table, and then make a better decision as a commission rather than propose something that it doesn't seem that some of the applicants are interested in. So if that's okay with everyone, we'll just table this one and move on to all the other presentations.
This is Jim Accomando. I'd only add one request to that you actually do this on site as well. If you're going to have
Correct.
many questions and concerns, I think we need to get out there.
We did this on site. There's a confusion going on. I would suggest the applicant, whoever is requesting, whether it's Asquanaug or residents, to submit us a sketch properly detailing what exactly they are requesting. So there's no misinformation from anybody. I want every request in writing. We have FTA online. Everything is online. They should be requesting. And also for the parking, we will have neighborhood petitions because I don't want to hear in our next FTA meeting that there are 5 residents who want the parking and there are 5 residents who don't want the parking. If the parking is an issue, then we need more feedback from the neighborhood and whoever is parking there. So that will be the procedure shall be followed. We will be doing site reviews, site access when we have to, once the submission form is followed. So that's what my recommendation will be. So there is no misinformation because I went on site. Bill and I went on site twice. I met Jack. I think there is some misinformation going on. I also shared, when I submitted to HDC, I shared my plans with Jack and Judith, and they didn't have any comments like that. There is a misinformation. Please hold on to your application. So it's kind of a little bit miscommunication gap that is going to be presented in a legal traffic authority. The residents were there. At that time, it was verbally mentioned a little bit, so I didn't see any comments from anybody coming at that time that, you know, we want to be on site or we want to see how this works. So this is a little bit surprises here. So this is what I would suggest. Anybody who wants should be submitting a proper detailed request, and at what site and what not site. So at this time, this works. This worked from traffic engineering perspective and everything from the town. LTA approved it. Engineering manager approved it. I don't know now. It's all different things. So that's my comment. We will look into it, but fill the form, and the site visits will be done when we feel we have to be there.
Well, thank you for the presentation. We'll table this at this moment. We won't be voting on it.
Okay.
All the applicants should get together, and with the comments that we have provided, hopefully there's a little bit more educated design, and we'll be looking forward to doing a pre-application meeting in the future before we get to a public hearing, as it was suggested initially.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
I'm Margaret Sellers. I grew up in Southport. I live there now. I live right near this very area. I've known this issue in recent years because of the traffic that Waze pumps through this area. And that is basically the time when there is a serious issue with the traffic. I think it's crucial to remember that Southport is an historic village, which is why we're here. I appreciate all the effort that has gone into designing all these fancy things, but they are totally opposite from the atmosphere of the small village. Brick walks inlaid into the asphalt and the rest are totally out of character with what the village should be. There has to be a better way. There is a crosswalk right now in front of the Congregational Church. There is a possibility to put a stop sign just beyond that crosswalk that would stop people coming from the west through the village, careening around that corner. All of the traffic that is supposedly that we're talking about, I know that there are a lot of mothers with small children coming from the schools. Sounds heartless, but there are alternative ways to walk along there. They don't have to come along this particular street if the traffic is bad. But in addition, coming, I don't know how many of them come down Station Street onto Pequot Avenue where the problem exists. It is also possible to put a crosswalk in front of the post office that would allow people to cross at that time. But I am 100% opposed, as are a number of my colleagues and younger people as well, to having any elaborate arrangement put at that particular area. This is a small village, and it's one of the highlights of Fairfield to be enjoyed by everyone for its historic value. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time,
Do we need to read this into the record?
we will be reading into the record then one letter received in favor of this application, and after that, we'll move on to the next three applications.
All right, March 2nd, 2025. Dear Historic District Commission, we are writing to endorse the proposed application for brick paving crosswalks, a channelized island, curb extensions, and removal of parking space at the intersection of Pequot Ave, Station Street, and Chester Place. We live at 428 Pequot Ave at the northwest corner of Pequot Avenue and Station Street. Crossing Pequot Avenue as a pedestrian is clearly dangerous, and we applaud engineer Mega Jane for designing a plan for the safety of pedestrians, cyclists, and vehicles. In August of 2020, a driver collided with a cyclist in front of her house. Her injuries required an ambulance, but she survived. Commuters going to the train and school children walking to the Southport School regularly cross here with difficulty. Removing a parking space allows drivers a view corridor when turning left or right. The proposed changes will create safe crossings and encourage more pedestrian use. We are also in favor of the brick paving pattern presented for the crosswalks. They have been historic presidents. They have historic precedents around New England, Boston, for instance, and have recently been successfully installed in Westport and other towns in Fairfield County. This project can act as a model for other crosswalks in Southport Village, adding to our aesthetically pleasing fabric. Thank you in advance for approving this project. Sincerely, Judy and Ched Proctor, 428 Pequot Ave, Southport.
Thank you. There were no letters in opposition of this application, so this hearing is now closed. The next one is Christopher and Christina Albert, 229 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 229 Old Post Road. Demo existing garage and construct new garage with covered porch on site. Is there anyone here to present this application?
Yes, we are both here, Christina and Christopher.
Hello and good afternoon.
If you can share your presentation, or if you need me to share, let me know.
Can you share? It just seemed much easier if you share it, please.
Okay. Application.
So can I start?
Yep.
So we have our detached garage that is more or less falling apart. The roof is having a hole in it and the
There it is. There.
shingles are coming off. And the structure is, it's going to blow down any day. It's all rotten. And we also don't have a good foundation in there anymore. It's no foundation left. So we will, build a new garage that is built for a normal size car today, and also give us the space for outdoor furniture and, the lawnmower and bikes and everything that normally doesn't fit there right now. And we are working with Jason at Raymond Design Builders, and he's supposed to be in this meeting too, so he is with us.
Hi guys, I'm here as well if you've got any questions or anything like that.
Okay. Can you guys talk about the materials?
Would you like to take that?
I can go tell on that. Yeah, so we're for the siding, we're going to use T111 wood siding. We haven't necessarily finalized exactly what color we're going to paint it. We're going to use Anderson 400 series wood windows. All of the trim is going to be primed pine boards. It's going to be an asphalt shingle roof similar to what's there now. The 4x4 posts that you see on the side are going to be wrapped. It's obviously got to be pressure treated underneath, but then it's going to be wrapped with pine trim as well. The doors would be Anderson wood doors as well. And then we're going to do kind of your standard garage door on the front, similar to what's there now. But we're going to add, the one thing this image doesn't show is we're going to add two kind of farmhouse barn lights on either side of the garage doors, just to give it a little bit more of a kind of a nicer look. So those are the Max Welton farmhouse barn lights. They'd be black.
Is that all?
I think that's it. Yeah, unless you guys have any other questions.
Okay. Darren, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a couple. What's the footprint difference between this and the existing?
So the existing is roughly 9 by 12, and this is 18 by like 23, 24.
Is this going in the same exact place, or is it moving locations?
So ideally it would go in the same place. I think the town might want us to move it away from the setbacks just a little bit. As you can see, it is very close to on the, pretty close to on the property line. If you look at those pictures, you can kind of see just how close it
It's
is.
what?
And so, kind of lining it up with the driveway a little bit more would make
Hard
it,
to see.
both happier for the town and also kind of an easier use.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And we have talked to our neighbors and they are aware of what we're planning and have not had any, anything to say against it.
Okay. Those were my questions.
Art Urbanis,
None for me.
George Clark, George is not.
Yeah, excuse me. I'm
Meeting.
sorry, Regina.
Okay.
The light fixtures, I think you ought to have a spec sheet on them just to show us what you're putting there. Great to have a description, but we should have a cut sheet for it, please. Do you have an as-built, as now and as proposed plan, or are we just dealing with renderings?
So we do have a survey with a rough location of it. It hasn't been exactly finalized. We wanted to get your feedback before we kind of make sure that everything made sense here before we kind of went to the next. We have talked with zoning, but we wanted to make sure that everything kind of made sense.
I think you have to get zoning approval before us, but okay. So we don't have any specifications on what you're doing. We just have, so you say you're doing asphalt, but there's no spec sheet on it. The T111, I get it. The windows, 16, I get those. But from a formality point of view, there ought to be detailed and concrete into what you're proposing. You with me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can definitely provide that if that's a condition of approval.
Well, usually when you come before HTC with an application, we see the existing structure, plans, drawing, and a proposed, so we can see size difference, location difference, etc. But you're kind of coming for that in the middle of it and saying you want us to approve it. It's a little bit, you're asking us to approve it without all the information, right? So, but I have no more questions.
You guys did submit a site plan though. I just don't have it in this.
Yes, I think that was.
Yeah, I thought that was.
supposed to be
Yeah.
said.
When we redid the survey, he had the proposed new structure there, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at what you're presenting at.
Okay, so let's move on to the next person. Jim A.
No more questions. Thank you.
Jim Bohan,
No questions, Regina. Thank you very much.
Maura,
No questions.
Greg,
Just a quick question on as you move it over on the property, are you going to change the location of the driveway?
So we haven't necessarily thought too much about the driveway. I think that that some of it's going to get damaged when we kind of excavate the end of the driveway, but I don't think the location there's no real plan to move the driveway to a different spot or kind of like if you look at the driveway, it actually it lines up with a garage that would be more centrally located on it versus where the garage is currently located, right on the property line.
Yeah, my other thank you for that. I'm just curious on that because when you move it over, it looks like it's going to go over by about 3 to 4 feet.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the roof line where it is today, what's the height difference on the property? Is that a second floor or is that just a single story?
It's just a single story. The only you just have we wanted to kind of match the style that's there now facing the street, and so there's currently there's kind of a little bit of storage. There's a little bit of a loft up there right now, and so there would be a loft again, but you would just basically have but it's kind of the same style and same size, look from the street side.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
My only questions were around the materials, because I know initially in one of your emails, it had indicated that there were some synthetic materials being used and the windows and doors had vinyl cladding. Were you still considering that?
No, so I think originally the plan was to do like an AZAC similar type of material, and then like a Provia window and door. But after your comments, we've decided to, we were recommending doing a primed pine trim and then doing wood windows, Anderson wood windows.
Okay.
And note that, right, the windows and doors you won't really see from the street because of their location.
We did not receive any letters in favor of this application. We did not receive any letters opposing this application, so this hearing is now closed. The next one is James and Pamela Fisher, 221 Willow Street, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 221 Willow Street. A, remove existing front door, storm door, and trim. New front door, storm door, and trim. New bracketed portico. And C, new lighting and outlets, replace step lights. Is there anyone here representing this application?
Regina, is that for 221?
That's yours, yes.
Willow Street? Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Dogs are barking. Yes, Adam Kleiber, architect, representing Jim and Pamela Fisher, 221 Willow Street. I'm here with Will Hibbs from Oliver's. Will, can you say hi quickly?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Okay, so to begin with, a little background on the property. The house was built in 1968 in the neo-colonial style, and is therefore considered probably not a contributing structure in the historic district. What we're proposing is to remove the front door trim, side lights, transom, and replace it with a new portico, brackets on the side, new front door, new side lights that extend further down, and a new storm door. Everything's going to be mahogany. The roof is going to be cedar shingles, but on the edge, with an integral gutter, I should say, an integral copper gutter, about 10 inches back from the eave of the portico. And it'll be copper from the eave all the way to the back edge of that integral gutter. Here's a perspective of what this is going to look like, the brackets. Let's see if I can go to the list, bracket portico. We're using existing lights. So these two sconces are existing. We're just going to reuse them. There'll also be some outlets for like Christmas lights and stuff that are going to be located underneath the brackets as well as possible. The other thing we're doing in the front of the house is the on the side door, this is the existing conditions in the side door. It's basically these columns with just a little molding that runs around the base, and that's it. There's nothing at the top. So we're going to be adding a little trim to the top, just a Roscoe bed mold with a cap and some flashing, a new storm door. In addition to that, I'll show you what that looks like. This is this bed mold with the cap. This trim on the bottom is the same. It's basically a quarter round. And once you go through the list, trim existing columns, replace existing side storm door. The landing is going to get extended 1 foot on either side. So this existing bluestone landing, we're just going to have to extend it out 1 foot on each side and replace the bluestone basically in kind with what's there. So it'll be a similar look, just a little wider. And in terms of the other thing with lighting, this is more in Will's side, but I'll just mention it. There's some step lighting that's existing. I think it's in the risers, and they're going to be replaced. But I think that's all I have for the architectural side. Will, do you want to walk through the site stuff?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, let's start with, do you mind continuing to share your screen, or do you want me to switch?
Whatever is easiest. Do you want to share yours?
Yeah, why don't I share mine, and then I can kind of guide my cursor as I see.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
While you guys are doing that, I missed indicating that there were more items, just A, B, and C. So there was a D, new trim on existing column. E, replace existing side storm door with new storm door. F, extend existing landing 1 inch on each side and replace bluestone. G, remove existing walkways and new walkways. H, new driveway aprons. And I, reconfigure existing stone planters, repair stone steps. Apologize for that.
That's okay. Here we have just a quick layout of existing conditions. There's the bluestone outside the front door, a little bit narrower than what's proposed. There's a skinny walkway bluestone that goes from the front door to the driveway. Coming down the stairs through the stone retaining wall, there's 2 quarter round planting beds built out of masonry. And then this horseshoe, U-shaped driveway is all existing with metal edge, and it's all gravel. So those are the existing conditions. Our proposal is to replace the existing bluestone walkway with a wider walkway. So it's essentially, the same layout. It's just going to be a little bit further away from the house, and about 1.5 feet wider, but still out of bluestone material. For the outside the front landing, we're going to increase. We're going to have Adam's proposed landing, and then you're going to step down, and we're going to have another landing space that's a little bit wider as an intersection between the walkway coming in parallel to the house and the walkway and steps coming up from the top of the wall. Our proposal there is for bluestone inlay with a picture frame done out of granite curbing laid flat, which I'll show examples of. I apologize. I realize the line weight on this drawing is very vague, but where those half circle or quarter circle beds are on either side of the wall, we would like to square those off, rebuild them and make them square, and we'll get a little bit more planting space out of those. The stairs are just going to be repointed. They will all remain the same dimension. There are lights, and let me pull up my little reference examples. There are lights, current lights in the stairs. You can see they're built into the stone wall, and those are just going to be replaced in the same locations when that's rebuilt. And then, I'm sorry, let me. Coming down at the bottom of the stairs, right now it's bluestone that's only between the bottom stair and the steel edging, and we are proposing to run a walkway out of the granite curbing, reclaimed granite curbing from the bottom of the stairs all the way through, almost like an apron or rumble strip, all the way through the gravel to enhance that entryway and draw people to the front door. And that material will look like this paving example here. It'll be reclaimed stone laid flat. So that'll carry through the middle here. And then we've also proposed on either entrance of this existing gravel driveway to break that with a granite apron there, set in from the road. So the gravel will meet the asphalt like it currently does. And then at the property line, we will start the apron. I think that is sort of the gist of it. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one other thing. From the front landing here, there's an existing fence and gate on the left side of the property, and we are proposing to, through the garden landscaping here, to have a stepping stone walkway and creating that out of large bluestone slabs that will all be planted around them. And that's kind of an example here of what those stones might look like. That's the existing condition. So kind of, you can see a little bit the front door. We're going to carry that through and go through the existing gate. And I think that's, yeah, the extent of the masonry changes that we've proposed.
Okay, thank you very
Open
much.
questions.
Randy.
No questions for me, thanks.
Art, do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
George, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I know. I think it looks great, Adam, and I think nice job. One crazy question: the downspouts for the gutter, for the internal gutter, is it going to be built into the house, or are they mounted on the front?
No, it's on the front. It shows on the plan.
Did it? Maybe I missed it. I didn't see a downspout, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it has to run. I have to have a downspout. It's going to be up flush against the house. It'll be copper, which doesn't match the existing, but I can't change it to something different because I have a copper gutter. So I can't put dissimilar metals together.
You going to put it on the other side too, on the right or just the left?
No, just one side. It's not a very big gutter.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very nice. I like the roof. It's a good addition. Very nice.
Thanks.
Jim A?
No questions. Thank you. Looks great.
Jim Bohan?
No questions. Thank you very much.
Maura?
No questions, but clearly very thoughtful. Well done.
Greg?
Yeah, just one question on the railings. Did the widening of the walkways and the extension down at the bottom, is it gonna increase the need for railings?
No. Let me see if I can pull that reference picture. So the width of this existing staircase stays the same. So the stairs remain, so we'll be able to keep the same railing there. It's at the top of the stairs, the landing that's actually outside the front door itself, you know, between this top stair and that door that gets changed to be wider, but those stairs remain the same, you know, both in width and then also the depth of the tread, so that we don't have to rebuild those walls or make new railings.
Okay, yeah, nice job. Yep.
I don't have any questions, so we did not receive any letters in favor of this application or against this application, so this hearing is now closed. Oh, is there any public comment?
I live down Willow Street. This project, I think it's beautiful and very tasteful, consistent with the architecture of the street.
And can you state your name, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, John Territson. I live at Westway and Willow.
Thank you. So this hearing is now closed, and we'll go back to St. Paul's Episcopal Church, 661 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 661 Old Post Road. A, for the removal of existing St. Paul Nursery School of Fairfield, Inc. sign at the northwest corner of lot at corner of Education Office Building, existing sign to be reinstalled alongside the entrance to the nursery school in the driveway. B, installation of new single-sided post-mounted signs similar in design and construction to the new church sign installed in January 2024. And C, illumination of new sign using in-ground fixtures similar to the new church sign installed in January 2024.
Thank you. I'm going to try and share my screen again.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll have more success than I had before.
Husband's called me 3 times.
Come on.
Just to state, Darren stepped out. If she doesn't walk in before the presentation starts, we'll have Maura do the voting for this one.
So, can you see this now?
Yes.
Yep, we chatted.
Ah. Wonderful. Okay, so basically, I'll go down, close this one if I can.
Darren is back in the meeting.
Sorry. Yeah.
There we go. So this is the area. There's Old Post Road is down here. The driveway on the side of the church is here. So just to orient you, I'm going to go down to this. So here's Old Post Road. This is an entrance to the side of the church. There's the main offices. So the new sign for the nursery school is proposed in this area. The existing sign right now is up in this area. It's in front of our existing generator. In this area down here, where the doors are into the lower area of the nursery school, is where we propose an additional sign for the nursery school, which will face the driveway and Burr Mansion. So this is the existing sign that will be removed. And what we propose is additional planting to further screen the generator that's behind this area, so it can't be seen from any location. This is a new sign that would be established, as I said, next to the doors leading down to the lower nursery school location. That basically, we've got the driveway that leads out to Old Post Road, and then below that is, or opposite that, is the Burr Mansion backyard. So this is the proposed sign. It's very basically the same design that we've used for the new St. Paul sign that was installed last year. And basically, it's a metal. Let's see if I can get down here. It's a metal, black metal post, and this is. Well, I can show you the dimensions, I think, on the next go. Just so it runs about 108 inches high total. The sign is 42 inches high, and 30 inches wide. Proposing to use high-density urethane as opposed to wood, which we used on the St. Paul sign, because we found that the wooden sign has a tendency to warp, which is not desirable. So this just gives you a perspective of a 6-foot person. The lighting, which we propose, will be in ground and focused on the sign. And it's the same type of lighting that we used on the St. Paul's Church sign. So, it's a adjustable angle so that we can focus it. And just as a point of reference, this is the new St. Paul sign that we put in last year. So that's basically our proposal.
Thank you very much, Darren.
No questions for me.
Art?
No, thank you.
Art Gerlach. Okay. George Clark?
No questions, thank you.
Jim A?
No questions. Thanks.
Jim Bohan?
No questions. Thank you very
Mark?
much.
No questions. Thanks, Rosina.
Right?
No questions.
And I also have no questions. Is there any comments from the public?
Looks pretty good.
Thank you. We did not receive any letters in favor or any letters opposing this application, so the hearing is now closed.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
folks. Appreciate
for
your time.
everyone that presented. Now we're gonna do the considerations of the public hearing. The first item in the agenda, I apologize at the beginning, I read a item that was presented in one of our last meetings. So the 221 Harbor Road, that was not supposed to be in this presentation. So the first item in the agenda is John and Rachel Blaschke, 323 Old Post Road, for property located at 323 Old Post Road, for a demo existing one-car garage and construct a new detached two-car, two-story garage with a home, office, and full bathroom that one day might be used as an accessory dwelling unit. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to
Is there anyone to second?
Art will second it.
Okay. Is there any comments? Hearing no comments, let's take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
So George, Jim A, Art, myself, and Darren. So the motion passes.
Thank you, Regina.
The next one is 910 Hardboard Investors LLC, 920 Harbor Road, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at 920 Harbor Road, for a change existing two-leaf French screen door and existing 2 feet clear glass and screen panels on the south non-street facing elevation, 2-leaf French doors with glass and muntins, and 2 double hung windows with clear glass and muntins, one on either side of the French door. Existing windows on all elevations at the home, including those visible from the street. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
I will second that.
Anyone seconds?
Yes.
George?
Yes. a
Yeah,
second.
George.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion?
Nice job.
Hearing none, let's vote. Anyone in favor of this motion? All in favor, so this motion passes. The next one, St. Paul's Episcopal Church, 661 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 661 Old Post Road, for a removal of existing St. Paul's Nursery School of Fairfield Inc. sign at the northwest corner of the lot at corner of Education Office Building, existing sign to be reinstalled alongside entrance to nursery school in the driveway. B, installation of new single-sided post-mounted sign similar in design and construction to the new church sign installed in January 2024. And C, illumination of new sign using in-ground fixture similar to the new church sign we installed in January 2024. Is there a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second.
That was George.
It was.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion?
The material on the sign, was it a material that the HDC approves?
So normally HDC will approve wood. In their presentation, which let me pull for a second.
George, I looked up the handbook and it said the HDC can require wood or metal, but it doesn't say it's demanded.
I'm looking at our past practice though. We're pretty strict on wood.
Yep.
I get their statement.
Yep.
So they're saying they want to use HDU because of the work.
Correct.
Right.
So that is something that as a commission, we need to decide.
Right. That's why I.
Well, yeah, we just took the vote to approve.
Correct.
That's all right. We have a discussion now. So in our discussion, we're discussing should we accept it or not? Should we approve or not?
Well, I thought we just, because the discussion follows the motion in the second, there was no discussion, and I thought we just voted to approve.
I'm sorry.
No, we didn't.
No,
vote on that.
you
So
made
we
the,
a motion.
you made the motion,
We made a
and
motion.
we are now discussing that motion.
Okay, we have not gone to the, okay, I thought we went to the vote. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't think so.
What exactly is HDU? Is it plastic?
It is basically like a foam.
Oh, it's a foam.
Yes.
Composite, I guess, is it
Yeah.
maybe plastic or something. Is the sign post wood?
It is metal.
So I think it's metal.
And the other
He just go
sign is metal as well?
back.
believe
It
so,
looks
yes.
like cedar post.
But the other
It is-
sign, the original sign is wood.
Original sign is wood, but the post is metal?
The one on the front is metal. That's the one they just replaced not too long ago,
Yeah.
correct? And then the sign is mahogany on that one, but it has a warp.
Correct.
So just out of curiosity, and I don't know the answer to this. The sign that they're proposing is being mounted differently than the sign that's on the road. It's not hanging.
Correct.
Correct.
Does that affect the possibility of a warp
Good point.
happening? Because if it doesn't, then the material becomes more of a conversation for me. Because it's going to have a metal rod holding it straight.
Would we accept a metal sign painted?
We did in the front.
Right,
Oh, no, the sign in the front is mahogany, but the post is metal.
right. And so,
And that's what they're proposing here too, is like a metal post.
but
HDU sign.
yeah, an HDU sign. So
So my question is that should we say that we would really like that sign to be wood? Would the warp be as problematic because the sign is mounted fully vertically on a metal post, which should give it some strength?
right.
I don't know the answer. I'm just asking.
Well, I guess I go the other way and say, I think everybody in town that has a sign has them made out of wood
Yeah.
in historic districts.
But that's my question. If the sign is wood, would the warp even be a concern because it's mounted fully on a metal post? The sign in the front is free hanging and then they had to add a metal rail to the back to help with the warp. Is that even a concern in this particular instance because it's already got a rod in the back or would already have? Does that make sense?
Yes,
What I'm saying?
that you're holding this,
The rod,
it's this new sign with the wooden post. So in theory,
Metal post or
it,
whatever.
exactly, in theory, it shouldn't
Develop a warp.
warp. Yeah.
Shouldn't warp, but mahogany correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably one of the hardest woods out there besides maybe one or two. So I
But
don't know. Mahogany is a pretty strong wood.
Yeah. But they're saying it warped that other sign.
It would, the chance of it to be warping, yeah, on the sign.
But how much of a chance is that if there's a post behind it holding it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't love the idea of HDU.
No.
Did someone not read, I don't have it in front of me, but what was it read that we can approve something that's not wooden or what was the exact
No,
word?
it says we can require wood or metal It doesn't say we always, it says can. But I think
Okay.
George's point about precedent then sits on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So their current proposal is acceptable
No,
by definition.
no, I don't think so. I think they're.
We
Well,
could decide to accept it, but we also reserve the right to require it being made in wood.
Right.
Got it.
And I don't think, after my time on the HTC, I don't think we've ever accepted a non-wood sign.
We have not.
So we would be setting a precedent to approve this.
And the other point will be if we request that it's wood and it warps again, then they could come back to us with a new certificate of appropriateness to make the point that perhaps it warps and it's an inappropriate material because it's not working as it should.
So a question would be, could the sign be made out of metal? And therefore painted metal would not warp?
Well, the handbook says
Heavier.
the commission may favor traditional material, usually wood or metal.
Right.
On signage on page 64. So metal looks like an acceptable thing.
Yeah. It would be a metal sign. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't need to be any, it could be street signs or an eighth of, what?
But what it's being presented in front of us, it is a high density foam. So we can either accept the high density foam or indicate that, yes, we approve that sign, but the material should be it's wood.
Or metal.
So we were not presented with a metal sign.
Yeah, my personal opinion is we just did a sign like this at the Fairweather Yacht Club. And the reason HDU was chosen is because all the verbiage and of course the logo was carved in. And so that's what the HDU is perfect for. So I'm assuming that's why they chose this. This is what a lot of local sign makers are using now when it comes to decorative signs, is the HDU.
I'm sorry, Gene, I missed one word. The Fairweather Yacht Club signs looked what?
No, that's just did the sign, the Fairweather Yacht Club, very similar to what Black Rock Yacht Club has, and they're made out of HDU because of the carving nature of the lettering, and of course the decorative logo. I'm assuming that's why they went with HDU.
But HTU is not, well, as a
No,
precedent.
I know it's
HTC is not.
it doesn't say we can't approve it. It's just something we haven't done.
So let's go
Again,
ahead
the
and
words-
vote. Let's go ahead and vote on the
handbook is-
motion that we have in front of us, which is accept as presented. Everyone in favor?
Of accept as presented.
Accept as presented.
Okay. I'll be in favor.
So Jim is in favor. So one in favor, anyone opposed? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 opposed, 1 in favor. So the motion doesn't pass. Is there any other motion that anyone would like to?
So what would be best in this situation? I can see two different motions. One, we make a motion with a stipulation.
Correct.
Or we deny without prejudice, which I'm less a fan of.
I think it sounds that almost everyone is on the same page, so the stipulation might work best for everyone.
Yep,
stipulation.
I would agree, Darren.
And on the mahogany, and it looks, and the size and look is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I make a motion to approve the sign as designed with the stipulation that it is made of wood.
Anyone seconds?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
So my only discussion there is, but don't they have the choice of wood or metal? Let it be theirs. Let it be their choice. Could come down to a cost or preference.
That's
Both
fine.
are acceptable by the manual.
That's fine.
Yes, but the other sign that they have on site is wood. So there will be most likely a very unlikely case that they will come back indicating that they wanted metal when they're looking for something comparable to what they have.
But if
Right.
there's-
I'm just gonna let them make the decision.
Yeah, let them make the choice. If they want to do it in metal because they're worried about it warping, they do it in metal. If they want to live with wood because it's like the other sign, they do it in wood and move on.
All right, then, then
Amend.
Yeah,
How
metal
do we-
or wood, their option.
Okay, so I would like to amend the motion that the sign is approved as designed, but with the, well, they would have to come back and present, wouldn't they? So would we be better off denying without prejudice and having them come back and present?
But why can't
That's
we,
my
why can't they make up their mind? What do we care if it's metal or wood? As long as because it would, either one is approved.
Yeah, the design will be.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, I'll amend the motion to be, to accept the sign as designed with the stipulation that it is either metal or wood.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Everyone's in favor, so the motion passes.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Darren.
The next one is Christopher and Christina Albert. Actually, sorry. The next one is, let's vote on this one. Town of Fairfield, Pequot Avenue, Station Street and Chester Place intersection, Southport, Connecticut, for a property located at Pequot Avenue Station and Chester Place intersection, to replace the existing ADA ramps with ADA compliant ramps and curb extensions. B, provide a channelized island at the intersection of Station Street and Pequot Avenue to channelize the right turning vehicles and eliminate the conflict with pedestrian and straight through traffic, and split approximately 42 inches wide roadway into 2 lanes, right turning and right straight through lane. Is there a motion?
I would
Shall we
deny it
just-
without prejudice.
We can vote to take no action.
Okay, yes, let's do that.
All right, I make a motion to take no action pending a site visit.
Is
I'll
there,
second that. Yep, I'll
Second.
second it.
Okay, I'm with you.
okay. Is there any discussion? Let's vote. All in favor? So everyone's in favor, none opposed, the motion passes. The next one is Christopher and Christina Albert, 229 Old Post Road, Fairfield, Connecticut, for a property located at 229 Old Post Road to demo existing garage and construct new garage with covered porch on the side. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
And Art'll second.
Is there any discussion?
My one issue here is, I have 2 questions. One, did they submit a zoning plan that was not in our packet?
I couldn't figure out. Let me see. Hold on.
And if they did they already get zoning approval for that? Or if not, don't they need zoning approval before they come to us?
Yes.
Yes.
Because depending on how that moves, there might be sightline issues for some of it that we have no jurisdiction over. So therefore we can't, the little overhang by the side, if that's behind the house, you can't see it from a public way, street or place, so it's outside of our jurisdiction. I don't know how far over we're talking. It's getting moved.
It sounds like the point about making sure all the specs are in the files is important too.
This is something that drives me a little bit insane. So it's
We're,
incomplete.
I don't think
It
we
was
should be approving
incomplete.
something where we don't have.
Provided two of the things, but I don't recall putting the site plan, so I'm not 100% sure.
I don't have a problem with the design per se,
Hmm.
but the location changes what we have jurisdiction over.
I have problem.
Oh, sorry, George, I didn't hear you.
I have a problem with not having the information in the packet and improving things. This is how we get ourselves in trouble. We approve things,
100%.
but we don't have concrete information. And then then 3 months later, when we see something, they say, well, we told you, or I think we should bench this and have them come back and make the presentation with the zoning appropriateness and with the spec sheets and the plans that we require for everybody else.
Yep, I agree with you.
So I will withdraw my
Agree.
motion to accept as read.
I'll make a motion to deny.
And
Without prejudice, right?
yeah,
Okay, without prejudice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd second that.
Okay, any other discussion? Let's vote. Anyone in favor? Everyone's in favor, so the motion passes.
A question, Roseanne. Is that essentially just postponing?
The next one is James and Pamela Fisher, 221 Willow Street, Southport, Connecticut, 06890 for a property located at 221 Willow Street to remove existing front door and storm door and trim, new front door, storm and trim. B, new bracketed portico. C, new lighting and outlets, replace step lights. Give me a second to continue. The next ones, D, new trim on existing column. E, replace existing side storm door with new storm door. F, extend existing landing 1 inch on each side and replace bluestone. G, remove existing walkways, new walkways. H, new driveway aprons. And I, reconfigure existing stone planters, repair stone steps. Is there a motion?
I would approve as submitted, but I think it's I think that is not 1 inch, but 1 foot on each side. But I'm not looking at your document. But I think.
Correct.
In Adam's.
You are correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so
1 foot.
okay, so I would approve as submitted.
Anyone second?
second.
Is there any discussion? No discussion, so let's vote. All in favor? All in favor, so the motion passes. The next item is to approve the minutes from February 13, 2025. Present in that meeting was myself, Darren Raymond Locke, Art Gravanis, Jim Bohan, and Maura Garrett. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Anyone seconds?
Art second.
Okay. Any discussion? No discussion, so let's vote. All in favor?
Yep.
Okay, it passes. The next one is February 27th, 2025. The attendants were Rosina Negron, Darren Raymond Locke, Jim Accomando, Maura Garrett, and Greg Valente. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Anyone second?
Second.
Who's second?
Who's Jim?
Okay. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Let's vote. All in favor? Okay, the motion passes. In the chairman report, there repairs, there were two requests this month for 221 Willow Street for windows and for 104 Main Street to replace the porch in kind. There were no violations. There was no old business other than the handbook update, which we received the draft document and are providing comments. New business, there's none unless anyone has any new business. And hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I hear,
George,
I
a
hear
second.
George second on mute. Is there a vote? All in favor? Let's adjourn. It's 6:21.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Regina.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thanks,
Great job,
Rosina.
Rosina. Great
Thank
job.
you.